14 September 2011. My parents feel something is going on. I think they suspect me.
No one understands me. Aisha's parents have now divorced and her mom is relocating to Australia. I will lose my best friend again. My parents dragged me to a shrink last week who diagnosed me with bulimia and started me on some medications which I spat out yet again. I did not speak to him. I cannot speak to him as I cannot connect, and he stared at me weirdly. I'm not retarded like they think. I cannot focus or think anymore in class. My mind seems foggy. I cannot remember anything. I go blank. I can't stop thinking of him. I finally FaceTime him on my iPhone without my top. He wanted to see me. He said, I love you, after a very, very long time. Kind of made me feel good. 15th December 2011. I can't stop shaking. Mom and Dad are out for the weekend. Mom is receiving a lifetime award for her work in Delhi. There is blood everywhere. Don't know how to make it stop. Can't tell anyone. I am so embarrassed. I think I passed out on the terrace, but I cannot remember. Why did he leave me like this? Where is he? I can't find him. Why like that? Oh God, what have I done? I am too ashamed to carry on like this. How can I live like this? What do I tell them? How can I explain? How will they believe me or ever trust me again? I am so very sorry. Please forgive me. I love you, Shayan. I always have. Mom, Dad, none of this is your fault. I have let all of you down. Love always, Sherry. Sherry was 16 years old. She was hospitalized for attempted suicide. She had lost over 13 kilos of her body weight. Her blood samples showed imbalances in her blood sugar levels, hemoglobin, liver, kidney, and cardiac functions. Her vitamin B12 and D3 levels were deficient. She had high levels of marijuana, which is cannabis, in her urine samples. Multiple gashes cut by a blade on her groin region, which clearly were visible. Her menstrual periods had not appeared for over 2 months. Her jaw had been dislocated from hard multiple blows or slaps. She had been raped. Shayan was nowhere to be traced or found. His phone number no more existed. The cybercrime police are still working on the case. Sherry could never go back to school or complete class 10. She was a straight honor student in a school over the last 4 years, but now she may have to consider homeschooling. She has many wounds that need healing. She visits her psychiatrist every week and is on multiple medications to get back her mental balance. She now has been allowed to wear contact lenses. She's still very beautiful, intelligent and sensitive and mature. She still writes in her diary. The world is always changing. Nothing stays the same. But in love will stand the test of time. The next life that we live in remains to be seen. Will you be my side in time? Cherish the love we have. We should cherish the life we live. Cherish the love we have for as long as we both shall live. Thank you. This book would not have been possible if it were not for the trust, faith, and belief in hundreds of such families and cases that I see every day. This book is not meant to preach or be a typical parenting book with do's and don'ts. It's basically to create insight. Yes, it is a bit hard-hitting. Yes, there are chapters which can seem depressing and dark. But unfortunately, this is the reality. Like the case we read out today, I was just telling both of them, I see a case like this every month. Every month there are issues like this. Every month there is a mental illness or an emotional imbalance or a problem that surfaces with children. In children and adolescents today are on a rise. They say that suicide is the third leading cause of death among young adults worldwide. According to the WHO, at least 1 million people die from suicide and 20 times more people attempt it every single year, especially in our country. They say that's 40% more in our country in India today. 1 death every 40 seconds and 1 attempt every 3 seconds in children. Years back when I started practice, depression, anxiety, suicide attempts never seemed to exist with children. Like I said, now a case every single week. Studies have also reported a prevalence of depression and anxiety to be approximately 8%. Imagine 8 to 10% of all children today have either anxiety, depression, or a psychiatric or psychological problem today. What we still don't know is that mental health concerns is like having any medical condition, whether it's asthma or diabetes. It's just that it's unseen, it's hidden. People remain silent. One doesn't realize that more awareness naturally leads to early detection. Early detection and early intervention leads to a better prognosis and naturally better treatment outcomes. Yet, because of stigma, bias, myths, individuals and families keep silent. As you will read in this book, the first introduction starts with my own life. For years, I think for 3 years in school, I was extremely, terribly ragged and bullied. And I think those were the darkest moments of my life. And I have two people to thank for that, actually, through college, because my whole perspective eventually changed, and I think I regained trust in people again. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Dennis. And so basically, this book is, like I said, not a typical parenting book. Thank you all for being here. And thank you, Mom and Dad and Shan. I am here today because of you guys. And to my wife and two beautiful children who keep inspiring me to be a better human being. And I want to end with this beautiful quote by Carl Jung. As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being. Hope this book reaches out to hundreds or more parents. Hope it brings about more introspection and insight into mindful parenting. There's only two magical things of being or having unconditional love, as love itself is the absence of judgment. Thank you.
It's lovely to be here, actually, and especially for such a lovely occasion. I've known Zirak for, I think, 7, 8 years now, 8 years, and it's been a wonderful journey with him. We started working together, and I think now we've become good friends. So we work and we're friends, and it's a lot of fun working with him. There's never a dull moment, and I think my team here will also agree with that. Zirak always keeps us in splits. And I think we all need that with the kind of work that we are doing, the kind of work that he is doing. He really needs to keep that sense of humor going. So it's really wonderful to work with him. Thanks, Zirak. It's been really wonderful. And as you all know, I mean, he's just so passionate and so committed to children and to this cause that is really infectious. I think he really feels the pain of the children, because even when he relates the stories to us, you can feel the pain that he feels, and he really wants to reach out and help each and every child. And sometimes we have to tell him, very often even Pia is telling him that it's not possible to help everyone out there. I have to unfortunately tell him the same thing sometimes, that we cannot unfortunately help everyone. But if Zirak had his way, he'd probably be helping each and every child that comes along and reaches out to him. So I think that's a great quality to have. The book, of course, I think is a natural culmination of all that Zirak has been doing all these years, and a start to many more. I hope, Zirak, this is just the first of many more to come. I know it's taken a lot out of him to put this together, but I think it's a great, great book. I think it's like a New Age Bible. I think all of us, grapple with issues with our kids, our tweens, our adolescents. And I think this gives us very good insight into everyday issues. It goes into the whys and the hows of things. Why is a particular situation happening? Why is your child feeling so and so? And how to deal with it. Very often we don't know how to deal with situations. So I think this book really delves into solutions, and it's very simple and very easy to read. So I think it should really help a lot of parents out there, a lot of children also. I think it's really covered a whole myriad topics. So I think it'll be very interesting also to read. Like Zirak was saying, mental health is such an invisible epidemic that's really hitting our community. So in that sense, this book has really come at the right time. like the stats that Zirak mentioned, it's really, I mean, it's just horrible to really hear the stories and to know the kind of numbers. I'm sure we all have somebody, we all know somebody who's suffering from a mental condition, little more, little less. But all of us in our lives have somebody we know, a friend, a neighbor, a cousin, a relative. So it's really become rampant. I mean, it's really out there. Why is it there? I think is a question that we all have in our minds, but I don't think we all have answers to that. The fact of the matter is that it's there, and we really need to deal with it. We really need to tackle it. So I think the answer is to really seek help and not to feel the stigma of it. Very often I think we as parents or even as adults hold ourselves guilty for feeling anxious or feeling a little depressed. What we don't realize is that it's just like having diabetes really. I mean, it's like just a chemical imbalance. A lot of the times we don't even realize that we're feeling under the weather or not feeling good. We just think we're feeling under the weather rather. There could be much more to it. So I think it's good to seek help and to reach out. I think the worst thing is to feel lonely. I think the worst illness is a feeling of being lonely. And I think the best cure is love. So I think the message should be that we all need to reach out to people, be compassionate. Let's turn the me into we. Let's turn the I into us. Let's build a community where there is a lot of love, a lot of compassion. Let's reach out to everyone out there. You just never know whom you're going to be helping and whose life you're going to be changing. Even if it's just one person, I think it's just